You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good morning, Conroe and Lake Conroe area. This is Chamber Chat, and this is Ashley McHenry, your host for today. The interim. Nah, I've been working for decades in the marketing business. What am I talking about? The interim director of marketing for the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have some guests in the studio. And just want to let you know that the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce is a 501c6 organization that helps organize, advocate, foster great business relationships and businesses in general as far as different resources we offer here in the Lake Conroe area. So if you want to learn more about joining the chamber, or you just want to see what we have going on and maybe show up to one of our totally sweet events, you absolutely should. You can always check out our website at conroe.org or check us out on all social media platforms. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. Believe it, we're all out there. So we're so glad to have some brand new friends here in the studio today. They are from Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County. Welcome, Nicole and Erin. If you guys can, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you guys can kind of introduce yourselves, what you guys do for Habitat, and we'll kind of go from there and see what you guys are up to over there.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Well, thank you guys for having us today. We're really excited to be here. This is a great opportunity to get the word out about Habitat. I'm Erin Kelly. I am the manager of volunteer engagement for the organization. So I work with volunteers from when they enter the organization on the build site and all the way to the restore.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah, and my name is Nicole Davis. I am the communications and marketing manager for the affiliate.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Awesome. So, what's going on over at Habitat right now? What are your volunteer opportunities? What are you seeing right now as far as like maybe pandemic wise? You know, what's happening over there? What do you guys need and what do you guys want?
Yeah, so we have been swamped, which is a good thing.
Yes.
So the pandemic, I'll start there, just kind of took a toll on the amount of homes that we built. In the past year, we lost a couple of our sponsors.
Right.
We lost, the ability to really prepare families, but we are back on track. And we are slated to build 12 homes this upcoming build season.
How long is a build season? Like to give people an idea of like, okay, you're building 12 houses, but like, how long does that normally take?
I'll let you.
Yeah, the build season usually runs from September to July-ish, so that's about 8 months. Is that 8 months?
Okay.
Yeah, so we're running on about 8 months. But remember, our homes are all volunteer built.
Right.
So we build 8 homes with volunteers in those 8 months.
Right. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of houses.
It is a lot of houses. We are excited to get there. We built 4 during the 2020-2021 build season. But before that, before the pandemic started, we closed up 9 homes with the help of about, a handful of volunteers, about 7 or 8 guys who would come out pretty regularly and help us finish up those 9 homes. And then we brought volunteers back on during the pandemic, but in a limited scope.
Right. So how do you become a volunteer for Habitat?
So there's a few ways you can kind of join the organization. So for our build site, we have build day sponsors. So most of our homes are sponsored by companies and corporations in the community. We work with Chevron Phillips Company, Rights Media, lots of different corporations, and they bring their volunteers out for the day. So with the home sponsorship, you get 12 volunteer days. So that's really our best form of engagement. And then we also have Restore, where you can come in and join that way. So there's lots of opportunities for volunteers.
Now, explain the Restore. I've driven by them a bajillion times. I feel like I've walked in a couple in my life, but kind of explain how that works, where the stuff comes from, all that type of stuff, and kind of where the money goes.
Sure. So Restore is our nonprofit resale store. Everything is donated to us through the community or businesses, corporations. It has building materials, furniture, housewares, things of that nature. But we're super blessed to have the Woodlands donate to us. So after something's donated to Restore, it is sold back to the community. And it's kind of become an evergreen process for us. So Restore raises quite a significant amount of money for us. People don't understand it's probably our largest source of regular generating revenue for the organization.
Very cool. Very cool. So do volunteers also work there as well as far as sorting out different things? And
Absolutely. So we need volunteers very much so there. It is volunteer driven, but we have opportunities every single day of the week at the Restore for volunteers.
Very cool. Very cool. So where are you guys building homes right now? These 12 houses that are going to be built over the next, 7-8 months, where all are you building?
We build in a neighborhood called Cedar Creek.
Okay.
It's located close to Runyon Elementary. We're actually right behind the elementary school.
Okay. All right.
We've been building there for about 11 years now, and we have about 4 to 5 years left there. And then we will move on to another part of the county. But yeah, we also repair homes too, and we do that throughout Montgomery County. So if you live in Montgomery County, you can apply for a home repair with us.
Okay. So how does somebody say that they are going to be on the receiving end of one of these homes? How do you go about doing that, and what's kind of the process?
Yeah, so they work directly with our family services department to establish, we look at things like their credit history. Credit score does not matter. I will just emphasize that. Erin and I are learning a lot about this process through the pandemic, like all of the staff having to come together and try and figure out everyone else's piece.
Not nearly as siloed as maybe it used to be in the past.
Exactly. So, so they apply for our program, whether it be new home construction or home repair. And then, we just determined that there's 3 pieces. Their ability to repay the loan, because they do repay a mortgage with us. It is 0%. We sell the home to them at fair market value. Their ability to partner with us, which is they have to get 350 sweat equity hours to serve as their down payment essentially for their home, but they've got some buy-in on what the house looks like. Yeah, exactly. And the third one is the ability to partner, the ability to pay.
And the need for housing.
The need for housing,
and
yes.
the need for housing.
Sorry, I froze up there. So obviously what our volunteers do is they go in and they evaluate that need. Are you too cramped in your apartment? Are you paying too much for rent for too little space?
Right.
So there are a lot of factors that go into that, but those are the 3 factors that really determine their need for housing.
Right.
And then they work to achieve 175 sweat equity hours, which basically gets them a slab. And when they start building on that slab, they're required to finish that 350 sweat equity hours before they can close on the home.
All right. So that sweat equity is done on that home or other people's homes, or
a little bit of
what
everywhere.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So they can volunteer at Restore and get some hours. They can volunteer on the construction site on what will be their neighbors' homes.
Right.
And then, of course, their home as well.
Right. So how do you guys go about determining exactly where you guys build? If you guys have a certain neighborhood and you're saying that you're building in Cedar Creek behind Runyon, and it's over in 4 to 5 years, how do you guys go about finding another place to be able to build, or like where that need is most needed?
Yeah.
That was a silly sentence, but that's okay. You understood what I said.
Absolutely, yeah. So we were very blessed to have received donated land as Cedar Creek. So we received 37 acres. Somebody donated 37 acres to us, and that is what is Cedar Creek today.
Wow.
So we are very blessed to be able to say that we have great donors who are able to give that land to us. And our next piece of land is also donated. I won't disclose much of that information, but we will have a donated piece of land, and we will build there next.
Very cool.
Stay tuned for those details.
Right. That's very cool. Like, I didn't realize that there was, everyone has like heard about Habitat, everyone is like, okay, yeah, no. And like Jimmy Carter, and everybody knows about Habitat, like he's like the hugest advocate and the biggest like face
absolutely.
to come with it, even though he's out there like breaking hips and like, no, buddy, it's
but
like,
he's still doing it.
exactly. He's like, nah, give me my hammer.
Still doing it. Him and Roslyn.
Right. This blows my mind because they're 1 million years old, and it's just so awesome to be that passionate about something. How did you end up coming to something like working at Habitat for Humanity? How did you guys get passionate about it and pursue jobs there?
Yeah. I actually entered the organization as a volunteer. So I started volunteering with the Restore, kind of got the footing there, but I just had a heart for the mission, and I know we can go far places, so that's why I've joined the organization. Yeah.
Awesome. How about you?
And I have a history. My degree is in missions and ministry, and I was supposed to be international somewhere, and just decided kind of last minute, the summer before I graduated college, that I was going to stay domestic and work in nonprofit. So worked in one other nonprofit here in Conroe, and then I made my way over to Habitat, and it's it's been a great experience.
Right. And the community here is so unique and awesome. Like, I feel like in Montgomery County, it's something I've lived in 5 states. And to go through the places that I have and just kind of see different things, have for-profit, nonprofit jobs, all sorts of different things in between, and then eventually work for myself, it's been really interesting to kind of see how the community really reacts differently here in Montgomery County than kind of anywhere else I've ever been.
Absolutely.
It's really, the generosity is just amazing.
Absolutely. And for being such a large county, how people come together, it's
Yeah.
pretty incredible
Right.
to see. So.
Right.
It is.
Absolutely. So take me through the process of building a home, I guess. So you would find somebody, what would you, it takes, give or take, those however many months and that type of stuff. What's the
Sure.
process from start to finish?
So what will happen is we will actually pour the slabs. So we have about 12 slabs poured right now. After families assign that slab, it's assigned a sponsor, and then we start to build. So from building the walls all the way up, we do all of those with volunteers and hands on site, and we work with the homeowners that are there. But every Saturday is when we're out there building with the volunteers to get those homes done. And it takes close to 6 months to complete a home. And we're out there every Saturday and every Thursday with our volunteers.
Yeah.
So do they get to pick the home winners, as you refer to them, which is kind of cool? Because like clients, customers, like what do you really call, like everybody has a different name for like the people that they service as far as nonprofits concerned. But the home winners, what kind of say do they have as far as like colors on the walls and cabinets and countertops and all that type of stuff?
Yeah. So the homeowners have a lot of say in the home. We have an architectural committee that works with them to pick colors of the house, the different sidings, and then they have choices on all the interior aspects. So things like color of their cabinets, flooring, things of that nature. So it really gives the homeowner a real pick of the house to make it
And ownership.
and ownership.
You know, if they're going to be a part of it and put this many hours of work into it and that type of stuff, I mean, the ownership, I think, is just really important. And, you know, it may be something they have missed for so many years, you know, just given different circumstances or loss of jobs and illnesses, all sorts of different things that, you know, speaking of, who do you see most coming in either now or kind of like in the history? People coming in now, is it lost jobs? Is it illnesses? Is it, you know, what are the, you know, situations that most people come to Habitat and apply for houses with?
So we actually work with a lot of our homeowners are, you know, school custodians that work in CISD or bus drivers or, you know, there's some kind of generally a blue collar job. We have some single moms too. A lot of them work in like medical offices. We really, truly haven't seen a lot of job loss because our homeowners are required to have a certain income in order to apply for us because they need to be able to repay that loan.
Right.
But yeah, our homeowners are very hardworking, so we see a lot of that.
Right.
A lot
It's just
of
a matter
service
of like
jobs.
really kind of making that end meet the other end.
For sure.
Type of thing.
Yes.
It's like maybe it's paycheck to paycheck. They are capable of doing it, but as far as a down payment, as far as really, you know, if, you know, finding a place to live for 6 months and that type of stuff, it's just a little bit different.
And our program really opens them up for the ability not to live paycheck to paycheck. So we have a lot of families who, you know, they're paying $1,100, $1,200 in rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, but then you give them the opportunity to pay a $700 to $950 mortgage. And it's a lot easier for them to then get better health care, better education for their kids. They get to save more.
It frees up so much other
does.
stuff
So
because
much.
even that, you know, $300-400 a month potentially, or even more than that, can be different healthcare, different, or just a better night's sleep.
Yes.
Instead of trying to
Absolutely.
think about, okay, well, Friday, this is what I've got, and it's payday and it's already gone.
Yeah,
and
it's already gone.
that type of stuff. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely, and it also helps them build equity within themselves. So once they enter at that loan rate, that doesn't change with time. So say they get raises and things of that nature after the loan is signed, they're still able to pay that low rate to save.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and continue their on
Continue
their
building.
on their the correct trajectory instead of
Right.
just
Yes.
losing it. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
And we see that in a lot of the children who come through too, Habitat children, is that investment that their parents made then reflects on them in the future. So
Right.
we see some of them applying for the programs actually, but when they enter, they're ready to go with the financials, the
Right.
credit, and then that shows on to their family. So it really is a generational impact
Absolutely.
that it has.
They're breaking a cycle that
They're
may
breaking
never
a
have
cycle,
been
yes.
broken.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So tell me more, I guess, about Restore. What I'm trying to think of, you know, because I've been in 1 or 2 in my life before. So
Yeah.
I like all the products and everything in there, and like to me, it's cool that you're kind of providing something there. It's going to go right back into the community, and even the people that the home winners could potentially go there and almost like give almost back into the cycle,
Absolutely.
which is really pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
we give an incentive for our homeowners too. So those homeowners hold a 25% discount card as soon as they close on their home. So anytime they shop at Restore, they immediately get that 25% discount.
Right. Nice.
So that's a cool program too, because it does. I mean, it helps to know that you have a resource like Restore to be able to, dang, I need a new couch. Like, I really didn't budget for that this
Right.
month. Let me go to Restore and see what they
Let's
have.
see what they have, right?
Yeah, and they've got some great items.
And stuff can always rotate too, which is I'm sure like
Yes.
as far as stuff coming in and out, as far as different donation
absolutely.
cycles and
It's a
stuff like that.
constant cycle. So
Right.
we do tons of pickups every single day. So it's a pretty constant flow of furniture and things that are coming through. We also just launched a really exciting program called Deconstruction. And what that is we actually work with contractors and individuals who are remodeling their homes. So we're having a lot of those pickups right now. And what that consists of is we'll take things like cabinets and flooring. Rather than it going into a dumpster, give it to Restore.
Right.
Let us take that off your hands.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we'll sell that right back to the public. So Deconstruction is launched. We work with the contractor directly so we can get those dates on the calendar. But
Very
it's
cool.
a huge savings for.
That's very cool. Like again, like the community coming together. It's like we have this need, we have this, store to put it. We have this, leftover or refuse or whatever that we can continue to keep cycling, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Where exactly is the Restore? Just so people can know if they want to go and shop it up.
Yeah, Restore is on 242. So the College Park 242 area near the Needham Fire Station. So it is open from 9 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday,
Excellent.
right off of 45.
Awesome. So get down there, buy
Yeah,
stuff.
get down
Yes.
there.
Absolutely.
And help us stay green as a planet. That's what Restore
Yes.
does. That's
Right.
the core of it.
Yeah, and that I mean that kind of alludes back into the whole cycle again too. It's like, okay, well, they
Absolutely.
aren't just sticking it in a landfill, extra flooring, linoleum, whatever it is, and they can start using it in other places and just kind of keep moving it around
Yeah.
and keeping it viable. That's really cool.
Absolutely. I think we saved 140 tons of materials from landfills just in the last year. So looking at that amount of stuff that could have just gone to our local dumps went back to the community, went back to
Right.
the mission.
Right.
And helps.
Which
the
is
planet.
huge. I guarantee somebody in their car right now that's driving around and listening to this didn't know that. I sure didn't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wave.
Right?
I didn't know. So, awesome. Well, if they want to get a hold of you guys and kind of see what you guys are about, give me the website, give me how to contact you guys, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our website is habitatmctx.org. So it's super straightforward. The best email to reach us at, where your emails will be filtered to whatever department you need.
Right.
So anything you need, this is a great email to shoot it to. But that would be development at habitatmctx.org. If you want to call our office, we're 936-441-4663.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else you guys have going on? Anything
Yeah.
exciting?
Just
that
the
you wanna
start of the
share?
build season. We'll kick that
Right.
off within the next month, which is a really exciting time for us. We have 6 sponsors
Great.
signed up to date. We're still looking for 6 more for those homes.
Hey guys, if
So
you got the money,
come out, sponsor a home for a day, for 4 days, for a week. It's a $60,000 donation, but you will impact a family for generations with it. So
absolutely. Like we talked about, that cycle just like potentially stopping. Where it is you get out of that cycle of just again paycheck to paycheck and that type of stuff, and getting back into something that's more comfortable and where you can sleep better at night. And I'm excited that you guys are doing what you're doing. And I
Yeah.
got to learn a little bit more about it today.
Yeah.
Like that's really awesome. It's every single person that we bring in, all the people that we bring in, it's so great to see what's going on in our community, how people are connecting in different ways. Like you guys are connecting with contractors, you guys are connecting with remodelers, you guys are connecting.
Yeah.
It's just, man, it makes me feel good to live in Montgomery County.
Good. Yeah.
Makes
Well,
me
the
happy.
Chamber's been a great resource for us.
It has.
Well, you need to preach about that. Like, let's
Yes.
let's
Oh,
go
we
on
will.
that for a little.
Yeah. We'll have to get you guys out for a build day.
There you go. That would be super fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the beauty of that is you get to know the families along the way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it builds it even more. It makes the ownership for, if you do have a group of volunteers that are coming out and maybe like, oh, we got to do this, whatever, type of thing. But you actually get to meet the family that's going to benefit from
and
you
work
guys
alongside
sweating.
them. It's absolutely incredible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
We also do we have had to reschedule our Building Hope Gala twice due to the pandemic, but
Right.
we are doing that again on April 2nd
There you
in
go.
2022. So just keep a lookout for that information as well. We're also doing some really exciting new things for our organization, which is wall builds that will be off-site. We generally do them on the slab where the house will be built. But we are going to be partnering with Market Street in the Woodlands and Veterans Park right here in Conroe to do wall builds in October and November.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hands and a whole bunch of cookie jars. I like it.
Yes.
And it
I
allows
like
the
it.
community to see it hands-on, too.
Yeah.
Right there at the
Yeah.
tangible home.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, give me your website one more time.
HabitatMCTX.org.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. Erin, really appreciate you guys. If you guys have a small group or even just one person or a family or anything that wants to come out and volunteer, go and visit their website at habitatmctx.org and get on the calendar and help these folks out. They're doing really, really cool, awesome, generous things in Montgomery County. So
Thank you,
absolutely.
Ashley.
You bet. You're listening to Chamber Chat. We will be right back right after this.
What can the Better Living for Texans program do for you? You can learn how to increase your consumption of fruits and vegetables, choose foods that are relatively inexpensive and good to eat, make your food dollars last longer, prepare quick, nutritious meals, help your children learn how to eat healthier snacks, and much more. Our program is committed to helping people like you improve your health through providing research-based nutrition education in a friendly, cost-free, and relaxed environment. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dan Simon, Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Welcome back to Chamber Chat. It's Ashley McHenry, the interim director of marketing for the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. We're so glad that you joined us today on Lone Star Community Radio. Thank you so much, Dick, for working the board over there. We sure do appreciate it. You the man. It's lovely. We have another guest in the studio today, another one of our awesome member businesses and organizations, Montgomery County 911. Welcome so much and thank you so much. Welcome so much. Thank you so much and welcome to Andrea. I'm getting all sorts of tongue twisted today, I swear. Dang. But if you can introduce yourself, your title, that type of stuff, and kind of explain what you do at Montgomery County 911, we'll go from there.
Sure. So my name's Andrea Wilson. I'm the Associate Director for Montgomery County 911. We're also known, our official name is Montgomery County Emergency Communication District. But we're best known as Montgomery County 911. It's easier to remember.
Right. Much shorter.
Yes, definitely.
Not such a long acronym that we have to get into.
Exactly.
I just stick with it. Right. So how do you fit into the whole story there at 911?
So my position, I do a lot of public relations within the county. I'm also over basically interoperability between our call centers that take all the 911 calls here in the county and deliver public safety services to those in need.
Okay. I know as soon as you walked in, I was like, okay, I'm going to ask her exactly how 911 works because, like, you see cops and you see shows and stuff like that. But, okay, really exactly what happens, like, as a call comes in, how do they get the information that they need, all that type of stuff. Can you kind of explain from, like, the phone ringing to helping a person in the community, how does that process work?
Sure. So, obviously, 911 is a nationwide emergency number. However, 911 is managed and operated different from state to state, and even within that state from area to area, depending on where you live. Right. So for us here in Montgomery County, we have 4 call centers here. Actually, we have 5 starting in 2 weeks.
Cool.
And they're broken down into what we call primary public safety answering points and secondary.
Okay.
So our 2 primary here in the county are the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and Conroe Police Department. Okay. So depending on where you are in the county when you place that 911 call, that will route to whichever primary PSAP would answer that call. So if you're anywhere within the city limits of Conroe, then Conroe Police Department's going to answer that initial call. And if you're anywhere else in the county, the sheriff's office answers that. So Conroe Police Department dispatches just for Conroe Police Department.
Okay.
Montgomery County Sheriff's Office dispatches for all the other police agencies in the county, not just the Sheriff's Office.
Okay. So say Willis or Montgomery or Woodlands or anything like that, then you would just be then routed off to
Right.
the sheriff, and then they would get coordinated from there.
Correct. So after that initial call is placed and one of those two agencies answer, if it is a fire call, then it is routed to from one of the primary agencies to Woodlands Fire Department, and they dispatch for all fire services in the county except for Conroe Fire. And if it's an EMS call where you need medical attention, those calls get sent to Montgomery County Hospital District, and they dispatch all ambulance services throughout the county.
All right. So it's all connected. It's all that's interesting to hear, just because I don't think that most people kind of understand like kind of where all these people are located and how they're all connected. How do they, because you kind of see like, okay, you can't explain where you are and all that type of stuff as far as like something going down like a fire and that type of thing. But is there a certain amount of information as far as like caller ID type of stuff that comes through?
It used to be when everyone had landlines, the
Right.
old fashioned plug into your
Right.
wall type phone, which we don't really have anymore.
Right.
Those calls are great because we get 3 pieces of identification.
Okay.
We get your address, we get your name, and we get your phone number. But 80% of the calls in Montgomery County
Right,
are
or
via
cell.
cell phone.
Right.
So those are pinged off of the nearest cell phone tower that answers and delivers them.
Right.
And we only get a phone number on those calls.
Right.
So location is basically triangulated within, I'd say, 20 meters of the cell tower that picked up your call. So one of the questions we're going to initially ask you is, what's your location? One of the screens that they have at their consoles or desks is a screen that is just one map. And on that map, it'll show the caller's approximate location, but they're always going to ask you to give them an address or somewhere around you that you can describe.
Some landmark, something.
Correct.
Right.
And then we can zoom in on that map and get a more ideal location on you and send help that way. It's not like TV where,
Right.
the call
Right.
comes in and, you're automatically at,
Right.
Whataburger off of the loop.
Right. Right.
You still have to describe right now.
Sorry, Whataburger. Nothing's going down. Don't get excited.
But I mean, that technology is getting better and better,
Right.
every day. And we're going to eventually have the ability to even get what we call a Z access on you. So if you're where we are right now in the Conroe Chamber and you call us from the 3rd floor,
Right.
the technology is coming. We're going to have
more
more
honed and more honed.
Yep, exactly.
Very interesting. How long have you been there, and how have you seen this technology kind of change in your time there?
So I've only been with the district for 9 years, but I work with some dispatchers that have been, they're 20,
Right.
30-year-old veterans,
Right.
And they described when they first started, they were basically a pad and paper here in the county,
Right.
and you were lucky to even get an address,
Right.
In a lot of places.
Right, because they're freaking out or whatever. Like people are, I mean,
Or you're-
obviously
you know,
in some sort of trauma and craziness going
20,
on.
30
so.
years ago, there was a lot more rural,
True,
roads
true.
and things. So
Right.
if you go down this road and I'm by the pink mailbox, they wrote it down on a piece of paper and
Yep.
they dispatched a police officer out there.
Right, right.
Nowadays,
interesting.
it's like I described. The call comes in, it's almost instantaneous when we get it, and we get a lot more information quicker. Obviously, it goes into a computer. That computer's accessed by first responders that are on en route to you.
Right.
I get a lot of questions of they ask a ton of questions. Why do they ask so many questions? And what I always try to remind people is they have to know anything and everything about the situation that you are in
Before they get there.
Before they get there, so they're ready to help
Yeah.
you and serve you the best way that they can.
Right. Yeah. If they can nip anything in the bud that is like, no, okay, go outside. No, this. If they can regulate anything in advance for the people that are the actual first responders that are going to arrive there, I mean, it's a huge value for sure. So, and it keeps you on the phone and it keeps you engaged. Like if something is, traumatic and crazy at the moment and everything, it keeps you focused. It keeps, the eventual end user of the first responder services.
Exactly.
It keeps them talking, keeps them, engaged and not going into shock or not going, that type of thing.
Right.
So that's, I can absolutely see the benefit to that for sure. When you walked in, you also talked about this service that you guys are starting called Smart 911. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yes, and it actually backs up to the question you just asked me of how I've seen technology change, at least since I've been here. This is a service that we have offered for probably 5 years. It's free to residents and to businesses in the county.
Because I have not heard of this, but it's been around for 5 years. I mean, this might be something that you are also learning about too as a listener. So
I'll speak on it on two separate parts. I'll talk about private residents first.
Okay.
A resident can go in and complete a household safety profile, and like I said, it's free. No charge to you, and it's a service that we provide and that we feel very strongly about. But basically, you go in, you create this household profile for you and anyone else that lives in the home, and it gives you the ability. I kind of like to, describe it like a social media profile for public safety.
Right.
And so you can go in and you can tell us anything and everything that you would want us to know about you or anyone that's in the home. So medical needs. It actually gives you the ability to tie your home address to your cell phone, which, as I described before,
Nice.
we don't have that.
It can be a hiccup or an obstacle that you have to overcome each time. So to be able to connect, that's huge.
You can upload photos of your kids, your home. You can give us, detailed information about maybe where in the home your kids live. Maybe you want to tell us that you have a dog in the backyard that we need to be aware of.
Right. That was my next question. Okay. How about pets? Like, are we
And
including
I love
pets?
that's
Yeah.
always I love that question because, people are sometimes hesitant to talk, about their family because it's personal, but they'll put anything and everything about their pets in there.
Like, here's Scruffy. He's an Airedale Terrier. He's 7 years old. He's so cute. You won't believe it. Blah, blah, blah.
And you can put information of this is the vet he goes to. He's microchipped.
Great.
You can even talk about your livestock out and back if you want us to know about that. Any kind of medical need you'd want us to know, allergies. Basically, I say it's anything and everything that you would want first responders to know.
Right.
You can put as much in the profile as you want. You can put as limited amount that you want to put in there. But the best thing about it is once you call 911 or anyone that's in that profile calls, the profile pops up in our dispatch centers.
Right.
And it's just an extra layer of information that they have at their fingertips.
Yeah.
So that if you are in that, scary situation where you don't remember your address.
Right. And you're just blanking because you're
Exactly. And we
in
have
the
it right
situation.
there. It's perfect. And for medical calls, it's great because, they want to know, what equipment they're going to need or they're going to have to use once they get on scene.
Is it one floor or 2 floors or
Right, or
all
is
that
it,
stuff?
Is it medications that the person's on that might, not mix with what we need to provide when we're on the scene? So it's really it's an awesome tool, not only for a resident to have, but also for for us to have as a 911 call taker.
Absolutely.
It also gives you the ability to sign up for alerts.
Okay.
So depending on where you live, or even if you just work in Montgomery County and you want to create a profile because you're here every day from 9 to 5.
Right, for a majority of your day that you're spending in Montgomery County.
Right.
So, yeah.
You can sign up for alerts. So that would be anything from severe weather alerts to maybe an active shooter in your area that, we need to send out an alert and let you know, hey, stay put between blocks, here and there until you get further, instructions. The 2 alerts that are offered are Alert Conroe and Alert MCTX.
Okay.
So based on your address, that would be the alert that you would want to sign up for.
Right.
And it, people sometimes say, well, I don't want to get alerts at
All the time or whatever,
all the time,
yeah.
2:00 in the morning. They are very the alerts that go out are specific alerts. They
Very
are-
deliberate, very not spammy.
right, and they're very area specific. So if you live, let's say, in Montgomery,
Like, I live out in April Sound.
okay,
So I
you
would get something
yep, you would
specific
sign
about
up for,
out there.
for city of Alert Conroe.
Okay.
If there was something going on, let's say out in Porter in East County, and we send an alert out, you're not going to get it because
Right.
that's not in your geographic area.
Right. Cool. Good to know. Really good
And
to
it,
know.
and it has a variety of ways that you can receive those messages. So you can either decide you want to get it through a phone call, a text message, or an email.
Okay. Yeah, so that gives you opportunity too to change your notifications and stuff. Like, you don't want your phone blowing up, then you can just have it shoot by an email and that type of stuff. So
Right.
that's really cool. And you mentioned too that it can be done for businesses as well, which interests me too because I mean it makes complete sense. I have a 4-year-old. I have a house, I have, all that type of stuff. Like, it makes complete sense for me. As far as like, I'm literally going to go sign up for this today for sure. How can it be best used for businesses?
So for businesses, it's called Rave Facility, and a business can go in and create, just like I mentioned, a personal profile with Smart 911. You can go and create a business profile, and it gives you the ability to put in floor plans of the building that you're in. You can tell us where maybe the AED equipment is in the building. You can tell us maybe about some employees that have some significant needs. We have, I'll use some of the school districts we have in the county. They've uploaded facility profiles on all their schools, and we can basically click on a link if there's a call placed at that facility, and we can have access to all of that information.
That's really great.
Right down to the, nitty gritty floor plan map that they upload for us to look at.
We have this one teacher, she's severely diabetic, whatever, and she teaches Spanish, and she's down in this hallway, whatever it is. Like,
Correct.
That's amazing. That's
and
amazing.
So they, your facility profile is geofenced, and we have staff that basically once you complete a facility profile, they go in and they verify that the geofence that you put around the building is what we have as far as county maps and things.
Right.
Once that property is geofenced, if anyone calls 911 within that geofence, the facility automatically pops up. Whether they have their own personal Smart 911 profile or not, it's anyone in that geofence that places a 911 call.
Like, if there is an active shooter in a school and a kid has a cell phone and can call 911, then they should, and it would automatically be sent directly to that facility.
Correct. And we would, the profile would pop up, and we'd have access to all of that information that they've uploaded for us.
That is so awesome. Like, I'm genuinely excited about that. Like, that is so awesome. I don't know how people have not been, like, I didn't know about it, which I know, like, I'm not the end all be all of everything that comes through Conroe and Montgomery County, but at the same time, I'm like, I never heard about this, and this is so awesome. Like, what an incredible resource.
And through that resource, both of those, I talked about location earlier. There's a component to it that, I told you on our map we get an approximate location based on the cell tower. There's a location component to this that we can use that's actually been upgraded, and it gives us even more of a precise location through that mode.
Right. That is so cool. I'm so excited. Montgomery County rules. Like, this is what comes up, like, every time I have to host this show, and I hope I get to do it for a long, long time. I'm going to talk to Scott about it, and I'll see if I can. But everybody I talk to, it just makes me so excited, like, of what's going on in Montgomery County. Like, I'm literally, like, have chills. Like, I'm so excited. This is so awesome that, like, there's a big group of people that are just contributing in just this awesome way.
And we're the only county in Texas that offers this program.
We are gangsters.
Yes.
We are awesome. Way to go, Montgomery County. Good job. All of you, lawmakers and everything that put all of this, put money towards this. This is great. This is really awesome. It's really nice to know. And I'm absolutely going to sign up for that and I'm going to tell the chamber that we need to make sure that we're on it. Like, that building's been there for 22 years or whatever, but do we have any information about, up on Smart 911 about this? Probably not. It's just like there's been, changes in management, changes in stuff. And it's like, we could just update this, and have, say we do have somebody in the office that has different heart issues or different whatever it is, and we can put that on there. That's massive.
Right.
Even though we aren't, exactly affiliated with the city of Conroe, we are a separate entity and our own 501c6 and all that type of stuff. Like, we are considered often part of the city, so it's a government building and all that type of stuff. But still, it's like about the absolute individuals inside that building. That's really, really awesome. And we just got some new tenants, the Fowler Law Firm, so shout out to you guys. But, they have, more mature adults that are working there that have been in law for 40, 50 years, that type of thing. So it's like, that'd be great to have it on Mr. Fowler. That'd be wonderful.
Well, a great thing that you mentioned was, in a lot of businesses, sometimes there's a change in leadership. And so with both the personal profile with Smart 911 and the facility profile with Ray Facility, it has an automatic timeline for you. And I have people say all the time, well, what if my medications change, or, I have a new diagnosis, or I got a new car and it has a new license plate, you can go in at any time and update your information. But let's say you haven't gone in a long time. It sends you an automatic 6-month reminder, and it'll send you a text message and say,
hey, have you looked at your stuff lately?
Yep. Has anything changed? Just click here. If it has, click here if everything remains the same, and it keeps the profile active.
All right. That's really great. That's really great. It gets me thinking about different stuff for marketing clients and stuff too, as far as like, okay, have you updated your stuff on Chambermaster? Probably not. Go in and just log in. If you have any issues, let us know, type of thing. Yeah, obviously it's apples and oranges because like we're saving lives and not at the chamber. We aren't saving any lives. But
well, and I know I was going to tell you, asked me earlier about, you had a friend that used to be a 911 dispatcher, and I was supposed to have one with me today. And I told you I can't really answer a lot of questions about calls because I per se have never answered
What's
any.
the craziest thing you ever heard type of thing is not the question for you.
But I will tell you this program with Smart 911 and Ray Facility, it gives my dispatchers an opportunity to, if we have a call come in, and let's say we call them abandoned calls, it's a hang up. We're required by law to try to contact that number and see if there's a problem. And these programs give us the ability now, instead of calling an abandoned call back, we can actually start a chat or text message with the caller.
Right.
And
because maybe they are locked in a closet or something like that. And they can't respond.
We had a story about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where we had someone call and hang up, and so we started the chat. Is there a problem? And it was actually a daughter of a mother who had been kidnapped in a vehicle, and she gave us the mom's phone number, and we were able to initiate a chat with these programs.
Be like, okay, you're in the trunk, or
and she was able to describe basically, where she was, what route they were headed into, and the chat back and forth lasted probably an hour, maybe a little less. I can't remember. But basically, it gave us the ability to find and locate them and apprehend them.
Dang, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, we're going to start running short on time here in just a little bit. So the first thing, if you want to sign up for Smart 911, the Ray Facility stuff, how do you go about doing that?
So you can go for Smart 911 for a personal profile, household profile. You can either go to smart911.com.
Okay.
Or you can go to our website, which is mc911.org.
Okay.
There's all kinds of facts listed on our website for more information if you'd like. Okay. If you're interested in a facility profile from that end, you would go to our website, mc911.org.
Okay.
Or you can contact me, and I'm happy to walk you through it over the phone. Or just like today, I do presentations to groups all over the county all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're part of a church group or some sort of civic organization, and you want me to come out and give a presentation just on 911 in general and these programs, I'm happy to do that.
I mean, I think it would be great for even like for the chambers, like because the chamber board is obviously a lot of different business owners, that type of stuff. We have 50, 60 people in the room that would be able to knock this out in the next couple of days and make sure that their facility, that their employees, that their cars, that everybody is taken care of. Like that is so cool. Like I'm genuinely going to go back and tell Scott about this because Scott is our president. If you don't know, Scott Harper. Hi, Scott. And get him on board with this to do it for one of our board meetings, because I think it would just be it's such valuable information for people that they may have never even heard of. And, as kind of like an ex officio probably of, technically an ex officio of our board. I mean, we have people come in all the time, with short presentations about exactly how to do anything that would really, really affect or streamline their business in some sort of different way. And to me, this is just a no-brainer.
That'd be great.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. If you want to give some more contact information real quick.
Sure. Once again, my name's Andrea Wilson. I'm with Montgomery County 911, and you can reach me at 936-523-5917.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down. Again, I am like literally genuinely, and you're sitting here, and if you've watched it on video, then you see that I'm like genuinely super blown away by how awesome Montgomery County is and what we're doing here. Like it makes me so happy. It really gives me chills. So thank you so much again for joining us. I really do appreciate it. And we're going to head off to commercial right now. We gotta have the skills to pay the bills, but this is Chamber Chat on Lone Star Community Radio.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
Hey there, this is Kathy Sanders reminding you about a local treasure, the new Danville store located next to the Hyatt Hotel in Market Street, The Woodlands. Shopping at the new Danville store, you will find quality, locally produced items for those hard to buy for friends, co-workers, and family members, while supporting a great cause. Shop local, shop for a cause, shop the new Danville store at Market Street or online.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Welcome back to Chamber Chat. It's Ashley McHenry, the Interim Director of Marketing for the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. Thanks you again for the third time today for joining us. We really, really do appreciate it. Hopefully you found out some great information from our guest. Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County is doing huge, great things out in Cedar Creek, which is a lovely story to hear. It was great to catch up with Nicole and Erin. And of course, Montgomery County 911, we caught up, it's not even a word, with Andrea about everything that they have going on there. And it was, that was just so informative, like genuinely informative for me. We talked about Smart 911 and how you can register for free your house, all your pets, spouses, kids, everything, completely free and secure. So when you do call, God forbid, you have to call 911. They have all the information they could possibly need that you feel comfortable sharing, of course, to be able to get the right first responders out to you. Like, that blew my mind. And we're the only county in all of Texas to be doing that. That's crazy. We have 240 something counties, right? That's amazing. That's amazing to me. But at any rate, hopefully everybody did enjoy their Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you guys got on the lake, got to be able to get up with family and friends, maybe watch a little college football. I know that I did. Go Buckeyes. I know I'm a Yankee. I'm sorry. My apologies in advance, but it is what it is. But yeah, wonderful weekend. So hopefully you guys got out there and kind of shopped local, supported local, maybe drank some adult beverages local, this weekend. Hopefully you're supporting all of our amazing member businesses out there, and we're able to do so this weekend. We have so much great stuff coming up here at the Chamber over the next few weeks, actually. We are less than 4 weeks from Lobsterfest, but I'll get into that in just a minute. In this week and next week. This week we have Morning Mingle on the morning of September 9th. It's always the second Thursday of the month. We are going to go back to Conroe's Incredible Pizza Company. You wouldn't know this, but they have some seriously incredible candied bacon that you need to go get a hold of. So if you haven't registered yet for Morning Mingle, as a member or not yet member of the Chamber, you are more than welcome to come and join us. We would love to have you. And you can have some candied bacon. We won't judge you. It's all good. Plenty of coffee to go around. That's September 9th at 7:30 a.m. at Conroe's Incredible Pizza Company. Come out and support the Chamber, and come out and support Mario and Kim, because they are absolute rock stars for hosting us, actually for the rest of the year, for all the morning mingles for the rest of the year. So exciting stuff happening there. Come on over and do some speed networking this month. It's going to be a whole lot of fun to learn about a whole bunch of businesses, your neighbors in business. So make sure you do that. On September 16th, we have Fun After 5 at Fast Signs, also on South Loop 336. Right down there by 45 and 336. It's actually right by Conroe's Incredible Pizza Company. So if you want to come and join us for that, it starts at 5:05 because it is Fun After 5. So, 5:01 you can show up, no time before that. But they'll have snacks and drinks, and you get to kind of find out exactly how Fast Signs works and meet the awesome owners, Chris and Dylan, and the entire family out there. Shout out to you guys. You guys are always great. And that's actually a pretty great segue into Lobsterfest, because they are our signage sponsor for, and have been for a long, long time. For Lobsterfest 2021, it's the 35th year in business. Obviously, last year it looked a little bit different with a drive-through steak and lobster dinner, but we still had such a great response. Which we, in hindsight, absolutely appreciate. And it was just such a great event, despite us kind of being all over the map and trying something new and having to pivot last minute. So, but this year it's back at Lone Star Convention Center for the actual dinner on October 7th. The golf tournament is back at Panorama Golf Club on October 8th. And so we're going to have different tea times starting off at 7:30 a.m. Then the dinner, I believe, starts at 6 p.m. on Thursday evening, so that's really great. If you want your tickets for the delicious steak and lobster dinner, gigantic steak, huge lobster flown in that day from Maine. We ain't playing around, folks. It's no joke. You can get all of your tickets and everything at conroe.org. If you want to have maybe steak and lobster isn't your thing, which I can't imagine, but if it's not, then you're more than welcome to come out for our golf tournament at Panorama. That is, like I said, on the 8th, that Friday, starting at 7:30 tee times. And if you want to foursome, head on over to our website at conroe.org. Of course, there are always sponsorships available as far as sponsoring. We're going to have a live band this year. We're going to have all sorts of different things going on to kind of get everybody back in the Lobsterfest mode, come back to Lobsterland. So we're doing a band, all sorts of different stuff, but each of these things need to be sponsored. So if you want to sponsor something and have some visibility on our website, on print publications, even on this radio show, you are more than welcome to, again, check out our website, conroe.org. And of course, we're taking silent and live auction items as well. If you're a member or not, we would love to be able to have something that we can bid, that we can, auction off and get your name out there. And you can see the impact that an event like Lobsterfest, after 35 years, 3 decades of lobsters, good times, and good fun, can have on your business. So we would love to be able to have your live and silent auction items. Of course, again, all of this is found on our website at conroe.org. Good stuff. Also on our website is a calendar of featuring all of our ribbon cuttings, all of our events, any sort of lunch and learns, anything like that, you can find on our website as well. And if you want to join today because you just were super encouraged by this radio program, then you can do that on our website as well. We would love to have you. Or you can even just stop by. We're at 505 West Davis Street, right in downtown Conroe. We have 3 arches on the front of our building, as well as a Texas flag and the United States flag. So it's really easy to find, plenty of parking. Swing on by at the corner of Newton and Davis Street. So we're there. We're happy to answer any questions right there in our lobby. Our lobby also features a whole bunch of different collateral materials from local businesses, as just one more element of their visibility as being members of the chamber. So if you do need a certain type of business, you need a plumber, you need a home remodeler, you need a massage, we have people for that. We got you covered. So swing on by. That's where we hang out, 505 West Davis Street. And of course, if you just aren't ready to pull that trigger, or you don't live in Conroe and you're a little bit further away, then that's okay. If you're listening on irlonestar.com, you are more than welcome to follow us on all social media platforms. We're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. We have a ton of stuff going on always, and even with local severe weather, with anything going on that does affect businesses, whether it's kind of personal, like severe weather, or new laws coming down about taxes or PPP loans or anything like that, PPP loan forgiveness, anything you got going on, and you're, you want to learn more about for your business, we have the resources to help. So make sure that you swing by our website, conroe.org. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. And next month, I guarantee you're going to be super impressed with the show we have as well. We have some super rock stars that are right here in beautiful, generous, rad Montgomery County. So thank you again listening to Chamber Chat. I'm Ashley McHenry, the interim director of marketing for the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. You guys have an absolutely wonderful month, and we'll check you guys out in October. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
This is a